Broadcasting from Millvale Studios, you are listening to Funny Money on the River's Edge Network. I'm your co-host, Tom Henry, and with me, as always, is Matt Wolfarth, the other co-host. Hey, Matt.
Good morning, Tom, even though it's evening. I'm feeling really good today, man. It's not as, it's a little chillier in Pittsburgh, but not in our neck of the woods here.
Not in our neck of the woods. This room is always nice and cozy.
But we could rent it out for hot yoga.
I would be remiss if I didn't introduce our producer, James.
James.
How's it going?
Who is this is our second episode being produced by James solely.
Yes, He's flying solo. He's doing good. I'm drinking Life Water today. We'll give them a little plug. Life Water. No calories, lots of vitamins. So hopefully I do better.
So today we're going to do something different.
Really?
And by that, normally we go over three companies.
Three or four.
We've
yeah,
done
three
four
or
before.
four.
But this time we're going to do one.
One company for an hour.
The reason is because one company like this has so many intriguing turns in its life that it will keep you captivated, on your toes for every minute.
I am intrigued.
Okay? All right, so I'm going to...
What's the name of this?
Okay, it's called Viacom. And, it's a company that a lot of people have heard of, but not that many people really relate to.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's like
BASF,
BHSF or something, right?
Or BASF.
Yeah, I don't know what they do either. Like, Viacom falls into that category.
Right. But at least they're foreign, so you have more of an excuse.
Viacom's...
No, BASF.
Okay, but yeah.
Viacom's American, yeah.
And I still don't have a clue.
But, okay, well, you do know they're in the entertainment business, right?
I do.
They're a media company.
Yes, I think I've heard them in...
All right. In fact, they're not, like, that old. I don't have some story going back to the 1800s for this one. This was created in 1970.
Wow, we're a revolutionary new contemporary company.
All right, so it was created within CBS.
Okay,
the network CBS and CBS Entertainment created Viacom in 1970 as a division to syndicate programs. And what syndicate means, if you don't know, is like programs that are going to syndication are those that are reruns.
Yes.
Okay. And
I know every actor likes that. Like if they get to the point of syndication.
Well, to syndicate, if you're the owner of the content, you sell the license to show that content on your TV station to various TV stations. Okay. And that's how you make money syndicating.
And then they get a little bit of money. They get a lot of money, I guess.
They get money based on viewership and all that.
Correct.
And advertising dollars, right?
Like Seinfeld would be a good syndication model.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a great show in syndication. But so Viacom started out doing syndication, and now that was a brand new thing for CBS. And it didn't take long before the feds started to oppose this idea of syndication by the one that produced it, because they got a lot of complaints that this is should be a separate business. So
was that CBS Viacom for a while? / Viacom?
But we'll get into how that happened.
Okay,
right?
Go ahead.
But Viacom started as a division of CBS, and then so the Congress passed this law. It was actually the FCC made a rule, rather. It wasn't Congress passing a law. And, the FCC, in 1971, the FCC ruled that TV networks could not syndicate programs following their network run.
All right.
Okay?
You
so
lost
you can
me at hello.
only syndicate, I can only sell license to show Seinfeld programs while Seinfeld is still going on as a show.
Wow.
According to, this new rule, right?
That's a ridiculous rule.
Okay. So in order to separate that business, they had to spin Viacom off.
What was their bone of contention, though?
Why you couldn't syndicate your programs?
What's their beef?
I disagree with that rule because on the premise of it, because I think a producer of creative content should be rewarded for that content. And part of the reward is licensing others to show that content.
Yeah, you decide, right? Not them.
I think it should be that way.
Yeah, the government can't come in and say, you can't show Seinfeld.
Right. They made it that it was like it was too much of a monopoly, I guess, in media.
Let the consumer decide, government.
At any rate, they broke it up. So that they made Viacom, they made CBS spin off that division, and they called it the same name. They called the division Viacom.
Okay.
Okay?
Good.
Now, so it's independent now. And Viacom as a division, it had already become successful because syndicating these shows was good business. In the CBS library, they had Hawaii Five-0.
Oh, my God.
And Gunsmoke.
Book 'em, Dano.
And Gunsmoke.
Gunsmoke.
Yeah. Do you know that one, too?
I do. Matt Dillon.
Oh, really?
That's how sad I
know
am.
that. So those were huge hits.
Mannix.
And is that from Mannix was in Gunsmoke?
Mannix was a detective show. Barnaby Jones.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, okay. I remember Barnaby Jones.
Mannix Cannon. Remember Cannon?
Not that one.
None of those guys caught anybody. I don't know how they caught him. Cannon was like 400 pounds, dude. Poor Cannon, get you next time.
Not very good detectives.
Yeah, exactly. It just felt. It's like Cops, but go ahead. I'm sorry, but it just like falls in their lap. Cops, catch a break.
All right, so Viacom would syndicate these programs and make money, and also they would syndicate programs that CBS had acquired, ones that they didn't even produce, but had acquired, like I Love Lucy.
Oh, wow.
So
they bought the rights to those after the fact. They went off air, right?
Yes, CBS did, and then since they own it, then they're able to license it in syndication, but apparently not really. They're not able to do it themselves. They have to go to a syndicator and do it separately. Okay, and so Viacom was a syndicator.
So they just wanted it to be outside the realm of a studio, right? So they wanted it to be like your own little syndication business model so we could track it.
Correct, at the time.
For taxation purposes?
And it turned out to only be temporary.
Okay.
Okay? No, I'm sure it was not anything to do with taxation. Okay, so, all right. So they have this nice business, okay, licensing things. And the business continued to do well, like as an independent company, because CBS kept producing popular shows for them to syndicate. All right, so now we're getting into like the 80s. You get the Cosby Show and Roseanne, which were extremely popular.
Oh, my goodness.
Making them a lot of money. And then also, Viacom started syndicating for other companies. Why not? Because there were other businesses that couldn't syndicate themselves. So they got, like, Columbia Pictures had All in the Family, and they got that in syndication.
Great show.
And they also got cable channels in their shows, like Nickelodeon's Double Dare. Meanwhile...
All right, that's the weakest of the bunch. I don't even know what Double Dare is.
That's my childhood.
I know
man.
Double
You
Dare.
remember
Double Dare?
Vaguely.
See, you
somewhere.
did. Yeah,
Double
that's
Dare.
the only one he knows. All right. Meanwhile, okay, this is separate. There was a joint venture between Warner Communications and American Express. That's a weird combination, okay? A media company and a credit card company.
Yes.
All right? And they called it Warner Amex Satellite Entertainment.
Oh, my God. That name just
Really?
doomed it from the beginning.
It was
I need a nap.
You could call it Waze.
Ways. I'm
right.
going to call it.
Now, the interesting thing about what they did in this enterprise is they explored a new field called interactive entertainment.
Interactive entertainment.
Or interactive television.
Okay.
Okay? In this case, it was specifically interactive television. On December 1st, 1977, they introduced the Cube.
Oh, I remember the Cube.
Yeah? I don't remember the
Oh,
Cube.
my God.
All right. So, but I was like, what? This never happened.
We didn't have very good games back then. We had Pong and we had Asteroids.
I remember.
Asteroids is
those
still
games.
pretty cool.
All right, the world's first interactive TV programming system that predated on demand by decades. This was Cube. Okay.
It was the future.
Cube featured 30 channels, including pay-per-view, where you could watch programs on your own time.
So it was the first set-top box, kind of?
I can't answer that one. I think so.
Okay.
But I don't know. It doesn't. Nothing I read specifically said that it had a set-top box. So I'm gonna have to say probably not.
Did you grow up with the antenna on your roof of your house? Did you have that? Or
Yes.
No?
Yes.
Where you had to like click. It's like click, 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 and it would just like still not good.
That's Greek to me. I don't know.
Oh my goodness, it was crazy. But go ahead. We only had 3 channels too. But go ahead.
You
4
have
if
to
you
walk
count.
uphill to school both ways.
No, it's horrible,
Right?
dude. Like,
I know.
like it would just go out for days on end. Like I still don't know if Franco caught that ball. That's like guessing
Oh shit.
with the clarity of the TV. But go ahead.
All right. So we had the antenna on our roof, but it didn't do anything because we had cable.
Oh, you had cable.
Yeah.
Oh, but we had to turn the thing, the little knob, and it would like turn like.
It would turn the oh, that's awesome.
And it didn't do anything. It just killed time while you were waiting for it. Like almost. Then you had to get like an antenna. But go ahead and foil. Foil was involved.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. So the Cube. Let's go back to the Cube.
Okay.
All right. This is okay. This is a really innovative thing back in 1977.
Most definitely.
So they had this. You could tune in, and one of the channels they called Pinwheel, and that was an entertainment network aimed at like children and teens, and that evolved into Nickelodeon.
No way.
Yeah.
I would never. That in trivia, I would never guess that.
All right, another channel that just showed movies all the time. They made that the movie channel.
Okay.
All right.
TMC, I remember that.
And then I guess at that time, during the Cube, those were probably the 2 most mentionable.
I like the movie channel, by the way.
Yeah, the movie channel's pretty good, but it never made it the way HBO did.
No.
All right,
no.
now,
And had a head start, too.
okay, despite the vision that they had in these programs, the Cube never took off, and it was a financial loser. All right, now this might be because the remote was a little clunky, and I'm going to show you the remote right now, or James is. He's going to bring it up, and if you can see it, it's this like, primitive thing where you push the the
Yeah,
buttons
it's like that.
stick
Like,
in,
yeah, if you're at a
and other
diner
buttons
playing a
pop
song,
out.
right?
Yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah,
wondering.
yeah.
Like,
So I don't know, and it's huge too. So it's very funny. Okay, now so
I like the fact that you're adding effects to our show.
maybe it. Well, that was just I thought a good picture. All right. By the way, I think where did I get the picture from? I have to credit it. I think to Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
Yeah.
You get
Okay.
everything on Wikipedia.
I know so much. Oh my gosh.
So great.
Okay.
I want to be on
They had this
Wikipedia.
guy working for them, the Amex Warner thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Named John Lack. All right.
John Lack, not a good name, but
Now,
this
he
guy doesn't get anything done.
he was originally a company salesman.
Okay.
All right. But he was also a devotee of pop music. And, he kept pressing his boss to let him, do a show on pop music.
Could
So
I guess?
The boss, no.
Oh, God.
But all right, go ahead. Guess.
I was going to guess MTV, but I'm guessing VH1.
Okay. All right. So you're locked in at VH1. Okay. So the company, all right, they decided, okay, we'll give you this little half-hour show on Nickelodeon called Pop Clips. Okay. Now, Pop Clips, what they would do in there, and they had Mike Nesmith from the Monkees
Okay.
to host it, is what they would do in there is they would, play the music and also show video clips of the band playing the music.
Yeah.
you know-
Was that the first music video?
So yes, indeed. And well, you could argue that those variety shows were maybe the first
American
music
Bandstand?
video. Yeah, something like it depends on what your perspective is. But this is definitely the most directly traceable to music video, okay? So Lack liked this show, having this show, but he had a greater vision. He wanted a 24-hour channel that would be single focus programming just for music. And he kept pestering his boss, Bob Pittman, about it. And he kept telling him the idea until Bob finally accepted the idea and created the Music Channel. The Music Channel. Okay? After brainstorming for a catchier name, they decided to change the name to Music Television.
MTV?
Or MTV.
Ah! I guessed wrong. I was going VH1.
That came later. VH1 came after. MTV was the forerunner. Okay.
It was. And I remember when MTV used to play music videos.
I know, right?
Once upon a time.
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
That was
But
all
I,
TV
I look
shows.
fondly back on like I should have been born about
Kurt
20
Loder.
years earlier.
Yeah, they were really. That was fun.
They were all
baked.
baked. They were all hammered. They were all,
Beyond a doubt.
Kurt Loder was so high. And
Yeah,
then
he
there was
would be
who was the African American guy that did the dance show? Oh man, Donnie Simpson.
Mr. T?
No, Donnie Simpson. He was high out of his mind.
yeah?
But I don't know if he was really that high or just because he had like blue eyes or whatever. But
made him look high.
he looked really baked like every show.
Okay.
Go ahead. MTV. It is.
All right. So, okay. So they to recoup some of the losses from Cube. MTV was starting to do well in the 80s, but and make nice money. So, Time or Warner Amex sold MTV off to Viacom in 1985 for $550 million.
Wow.
Okay. Viacom also got Nickelodeon from them. Not sure on the deets on that one.
Wow. That's right up there with Manhattan. Don't you think that
But
deal right there?
That deal was great. Oh yeah, like trading first for that.
Oh my goodness, yes, that's like a Manhattan type deal.
I wouldn't go that far, but it's a good deal. Now, okay, so that was 1985. So Viacom is doing really well with syndication, and now they own a cable channel. All right. In 1987, though, they were surprised by a hostile takeover bid coming from an obscure company called National Amusements, Inc., which was run by none other than Sumner Redstone, the man who invented the phrase "content is king."
Really, I heard that name before. No,
Now,
go ahead.
No, he wasn't. He had been in the business for a while. At this point, he was 64 years old.
Oh wow.
But
So there's still hope for me. I have 12 years to get
let's
my
not get carried away.
I still have hope.
So,
Hope in a basket.
So National Amusements, okay, headed by Sumner Redstone, came and launched this hostile takeover bid and won.
Can I talk to you a second
Yeah.
about that hostile take? How does that happen? Like it's our company, and then they go, "No, it's not your company."
Okay.
Can you allude to that a
Yeah.
little bit?
Okay, when you talk about taking over a company, like with a merger,
A
that's
merger, darling.
that's where the management of the target company, the one being taken over, agrees to the takeover.
Yep.
All right. In a hostile takeover, the management doesn't agree, or they wouldn't agree, so you go behind their backs right away.
But why?
Because you're going to fire them all.
Okay.
That's why they wouldn't agree.
Well, I know, but how do you even have right to do that? Like, how do you even facilitate that? You just buy up a lot of stock.
You just buy up enough stock to where you're confident that you could go to the board and get the board to vote in favor of your deal.
So okay, so you're just gonna say now how much of that? What percentage is a going rate at that point? Like 3%, 5%?
I'm not sure what you're asking.
How much stock do you have to buy? What percentage?
That totally depends on how much you think you can, how much you want to acquire, and how much you think you can control the board without having that much stock.
Now, can the company say we're not letting anybody buy more than 3%?
No. Nope.
No, because it's a public company.
You have to announce once you acquire 5% of a company.
Okay.
But that's it. You can go in and keep buying stock, but just so they know you're coming.
Okay.
You know, there they put you on the map. So,
Well, thanks for clarifying that. I never understood that.
but Redstone had a lot of stock, and he had been acquiring stock in Viacom since it went public back in 1971.
Good.
Okay?
Next chapter. Tell me what happens
All right.
next.
So,
Do we have to take a break, by the way, before we go into this?
all right, yeah, we'll do that. Let's take a break. Good idea. Take a break for promos.
I didn't know when to jump in because of the one company.
Hey, this is Matt Geica, the host of your alternative sports talk program on the River's Edge. It's called Geick's Got Game, and it's every Friday at 7 a.m. I'll give you a peek behind the sports media curtain, zoom out for the big picture, and always obsess over the details of the games, teams, and players we love or love to hate. That's Geick's Got Game every Friday at 7 on the River's Edge.
Okay.
I wonder if his show's an upbeat show now with the Pirates stinking.
All right, now we're back.
Back.
Okay.
Viacom.
Yeah, so we're talking about Viacom, and we're talking about specifically what happened in the hostile takeover bid that Sumner Redstone launched in Viacom. All right, now let me tell you a little bit about Sumner Redstone. What he was doing was running a company that he essentially inherited from his dad. He inherited that CEO position of National Amusements Inc. All right, and but he was really good at running it. What it was like a chain of movie theaters. But he made good acquisitions and kept growing it. And then, you know, at age 64 in 1987, he made the biggest gamble of his life. He borrowed $2.2 billion.
That's with a B.
With a B.
Billion.
At rates as high as 15.5%.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, to launch this bid. All right. When the shareholders voted to accept, and Redstone became the CEO, he made himself CEO, and he became the chairman of the board. All right. He also became majority shareholder in the company. All right. But through his National Amusements, which he owned 100% of the shares of. Okay. Now, as Viacom CEO, Redstone would lead the company on a series of great acquisitions. All right, that would make the company legendary in the business world and in the media world, especially.
Talk to me. I know. I don't know, but I know I know the name. I know he's wealthy.
So, as Viacom CEO, he bought Paramount Pictures. Everyone thought he overpaid because he had to bid against Disney and someone else. It was tough, but he paid a lot. But he got Paramount, and then Paramount went on to produce Titanic, Saving Private Ryan, Braveheart, Forrest Gump, the whole Mission Impossible series.
Yeah,
These were very high-grossing films.
Just a very average slew of films.
A whole lot of Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, someone was talking about Tom Hanks, how likable he is, but that's what they've bought into. But that's amazing, like to buy that and get Titanic.
Yeah.
Just Titanic alone will be worth it. But go ahead.
Okay, and another one, and there will be blood. I put that one in there. There were a lot, but
And there will be blood.
There Will Be Blood is so good. Man, I just watched it recently for the first time since I'd seen it in the theater. Super good. Have you ever seen that?
No, I haven't.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh my
plays-
God, he's great in anything.
Yeah. He plays this oil guy who's, kind of like in the early days of oil, like
The Wildcatters.
20s. Yeah, out in California. So it's very interesting. And this guy's like the ultimate hard ass. It's crazy. Okay, anyway, and there's a really weird subplot too. Okay, so Redstone's leading this company. All right, they acquire Paramount. It's a huge success. Okay, and then in the year 2000 now, Viacom did the ultimate takeover. All right, they acquired their parent, CBS.
They ate their parents.
which is called an Oedipus merger.
Wow.
If you don't know, the story of Oedipus is about this the son who winds up
In love.
killing his father and sleeping with his mother.
No.
That's crazy
Yes.
Greeks.
I did hear
man.
that, I
Those
think.
crazy Greeks. I
Yeah,
don't know
right.
what they were on.
They
back
had
then.
great
Interesting
pot, the
ideas.
Greeks. The Greeks had great pot.
Pottery, of course.
No, they had pot. Did you ever see? They named the constellations. Did you ever like look up in the sky all high and say, "Wow, that's a belt"? No, never. You had some really good pot, right?
So they took CBS in an Oedipus merger.
That's the first mention of Oedipus merger on our podcast. I love it.
when because it's super rare, with
It's
a
like
company
the USA,
that
the USA and Britain.
from which you're born comes and takes you. But we're not taking over Britain.
I know, but
All right.
we're
Yeah.
bigger than them.
We're bigger than
We're
them.
badder than them.
That's a little different. We'd have to actually, if we go in with soldiers,
would
make
be-
them a colony. That would be the
That would be funny.
comparable
That
to
would be
what's
really
going on
funny.
here.
You do not
what
quit
if
the
that's-
That would be
European.
so funny. Let's do it.
Now you wear your little uniforms for real, and you march funny.
Jesus.
Dude, they were stupid. They didn't even have camouflage back then. Like,
Not
let's
even
get a
like-
brighter,
not even
let's
like
get
a
a brighter
green.
uniform, right?
I know
Let's
that
say-
was a bad choice of
What
colors.
does
yeah.
red blend in with?
Yeah.
I don't understand why they put logos on the side of airplanes either, because that looks like a big target.
So okay. Well, do they still? Yeah, I guess they do. But they're so small. They don't have a stealth.
It's just something to aim for, though.
Stealth bomber doesn't have a logo.
Yeah, it doesn't
does
have anything. No. Well, France had a target. They just literally had a target on it.
I know it looked like. Well, okay. So that's considered the ultimate sign of corporate virility.
Yes.
You do an
bought your
Oedipus
parent-
merger.
Yes.
So at this point, Viacom, after acquiring CBS, it was huge. It had broadcast networks, CBS and UPN, had cable networks, MTV, VH1, Nickelodeon, Comedy Central, BET, Spike TV, among others.
Oh, my goodness.
Pay television channels Showtime and the Movie Channel. Radio.
I haven't heard of any of that.
They had radio. They had Infinity Broadcasting, which produces Howard Stern.
Oh, my goodness.
They had movies in the form of Paramount, which we discussed before.
How big were they at that point?
Okay, so they were huge. They had TV. That's exactly what I'm in the middle of explaining.
Sorry.
All right, so they had TV production. The TV production included Spelling Entertainment, Paramount Television, Big Ticket Entertainment, CBS Productions, and Viacom Productions.
Oh, my goodness.
All right,
That's like everything on my TV. Like, they had the whole thing.
so this was in the year 2000. In the year 2000, Sumner Redstone was on top of the world. He was the envy of everyone's eye in the media world. Which is pretty amazing for a guy who was severely disfigured when he caught on fire in a Boston hotel. And expected to die that night. Everyone thought he would die, but he
When was
survived.
that?
That was in 1979.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, and that was a really traumatic event.
Burns are the worst.
His pajamas burned off, and it was like he woke up at midnight and the hotel was on fire. It wasn't like he was responsible for the fire. in
No,
any
he
way.
just-
No, the hotel was on fire, and so the flames engulfed his room. His pajamas burned off. His skin was peeling off all over, and he climbed. He was able to force one of the windows open. One was locked, and he climbed out. But the flames were shooting out the window, and to hold on, he had to hold on with his hand and arm.
Are you
They
kidding
were just
me?
getting burnt while he was holding on, but he had to hold on there for a while. His they got him. The firemen came and they carried him down, but his legs were so burnt, they were burnt down to the arteries.
Are you kidding? Oh, my goodness.
And so he was really messed up after that.
I never knew that.
They didn't think he would ever fully recover.
My God, and burns are so hard to come off of.
Yeah, yeah.
This is crazy.
He's a
I
tough
never
guy.
heard this. He's a superhero.
Yeah.
Forget Iron Man. I need Summer Redstone, man.
But by 1987, he was playing tennis every day.
Wow.
So, and that's that's just 8 years later.
Wow.
Pretty amazing. they did all sorts of repairs
Skin
on him. But
grafts.
he had to
And he
do-
looks pretty
He was
decent.
in 35 hours straight of surgery right after that night.
Are you kidding me?
No.
That's
All right, so
Wow. That might be the craziest story of
yeah,
all.
that is.
That's why
really
we're doing.
weird
That's why it's
story.
like a
I was
special.
so surprised.
We're just calling our.
All right.
This is Viacom special. Special Viacom. Summer Repstone.
So this guy, that
is
might
it
give
Sumner
you
or Summer?
Sumner.
Sumner.
That might kind of having an event like that in your life
Makes you
might kind
fearless.
of give you the balls to go ahead and borrow at 15%, $2 billion. I'm going to make this acquisition, and somehow he made a good choice. I mean, he knew.
I held on that
business.
friggin' windowsill burning. I can handle 15.5%.
Yeah.
My
right.
God, dude. And that was probably the crazy precipice of it too. Like that was probably his first major decision to say, can I deal with this, high interest rate? Right? Because if he didn't do that, none of that other stuff happens.
Right. He would never have acquired Viacom. He would have just had this movie theater chain.
So what's the essence of this story is the fact that just go for it. Right? Just friggin' go for it.
Yeah, try not to sleep in a hotel that can catch on fire also.
Yeah, that's...
There's also another bad thing that, and that was that the hotel held off on calling the fire department because they didn't want to
Alarm people?
alarm people. Exactly. and they thought they could handle it themselves,
Oh, yeah. Get
Pour
a
some
cup
water
of
on
water.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The poor like
So-
bellhops
Which
around
hotel
there.
was
It took
it?
a long time. It was
The
called
Redstone
Boston Copley.
The Redstone
It was
Hotel.
in Boston.
As it has since been renamed.
Right. Okay, so in 2005. Okay, so now we're flashing back forward. We're at 2000 where he is on top of the world. But let's go then just 5 years later, 2005, he acquired DreamWorks SKG.
Never
right.
heard of them.
And that should have been celebrated as a crown jewel. But things were beginning to fray for Sumner. Okay? Now this
As I
now-
recall, that wasn't a great, but go ahead.
All right, now let's go back to 2002.
Okay.
In 2002, after becoming huge after acquiring CBS, Redstone divorced his wife of 52 years and married another one 40 years his junior. Okay, as part of the divorce, Redstone promised his first wife that he would have his daughter succeed him as chairman of Viacom and chairman of National Amusements and chairman.
How many kids did he have? Just the one?
No, he had two actually. He had a son also. Son's a little more laid back, it seems.
A lot more laid
All
back.
right.
He didn't get nothing.
No. He's
You get
set.
free cable.
Don't worry.
You get free cable.
Don't worry about him. He's all right. Okay, so as part of this divorce with his wife of 52 years, he's like, all right, if you're going to go out and have fun, you've got to make this promise. Okay? And they put it into the trust that his daughter had so that she would get the chairmanship of the big company if, when
Is that
he,
the way
when
she
he
quoted
relinquished
it?
it.
Go out and have fun? If you're going to go out and have fun?
No,
Do you
I'm
think it
just
was
saying.
that amicable?
No, I didn't say that. But that's just the way I just put it.
I
Now,
love it, yeah.
Just to synopsize it. All right, so so he accepted that deal. All right, back in 2002. But now by 2005, he was getting really annoyed with his daughter. All right, see, his daughter had worked as a lawyer before.
Okay.
All right, she worked for 15 years as a lawyer. And then in 2000, she came to work on the family business. All right. And, she was very feisty and she had lots of ideas of her own. And the board hated her.
The board hated her.
And like the other executives hated her. And so they told Sumner, they broke it to him. Like, look, your daughter's really annoying. She just keeps interrupting the meetings. She doesn't shut up. And, she keeps suggesting I do things like, and she acts like she knows the business. She's just sniffing around. She doesn't know anything,
Correct.
And
She's just sniffing.
in fact, Mel Karmazin, one of the former CBS executives, when Sumner Redstone came in with her for a meeting, he said, "This isn't bring your daughter to work day."
I love it. I could totally see that happening because you're a kid. Like, I have to tell you that your kids absolutely don't give a shit about what you do. Like, they hate what you do because if you did well, you probably weren't home because of that business, right? Or enough to be home. Even if it buys them everything, they still hate that business.
I don't know. I don't know.
think
if
like
you're,
it's different with you because you kind of like in a
if you're what if your dad's a cop or like something really cool like or he's an actor, movie star. I don't know. All right.
I don't know. I guess I don't know either. But I'm just saying that, like, if it's a business, like, they don't, like, a lot of times I see kids that take over family businesses, and you're an exception, but it's not, like, most kids just don't give a shit. Like, they run it into the ground. Because it's not, their passion is the money. Your passion was building a business. It's a huge difference.
I would say that it's divided. When you look at Sumner Redstone inherited a business and built it the heck up. He inherited that.
Yeah, I guess it's a
business.
I'm probably generalizing, I guess.
Yeah, there's a lot of if you look at Cornelius Vanderbilt, there are a lot of
That make it better.
yes, right.
Okay.
Andrew Mellon,
yeah.
another one. There are a lot of people who do very well improving the business that they inherited.
Yeah, so they either take it, they do love it, or they hate it, right?
Yeah.
So, all right. My objection's overruled.
It certainly can happen that way. I think it just depends on the type of person who the
And plus, you
heir
have to
is.
pick the right child.
It's just like like look at the history of monarchy with kings. It's like that. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. It's just a roll of the dice.
You're right.
Yep.
Yep.
So you just never, everyone's got their own personality.
I hate George.
But apparently, this guy's nobody liked Redstone's daughter Sherry. Okay, so Redstone started to get annoyed, and he started publicly feuding with her.
Wow.
His once beloved daughter. He what do you say? He said she needs to get her act together. He told her she needs to calm down and listen to people. So he began to threaten her with removing her inheritance of the
Yes.
chairwoman position.
Can you even do that though? I mean, I guess you can, but
He can modify the trust. Yeah.
Oh, wow. No, I mean, could he even assure her that she would be the chairman of the board?
Yes, because he owns the majority of the stock.
Okay.
So now, okay, this is back.
This is very
This is in
scintillating, by the way.
2005. All right, and this feud continues until about 2010 or so. All right.
This dude's like old as the hills at this point.
Okay. Yes. Yes.
He's like 87. He's
Today
resilient.
he is 93 years old right now.
Oh, my
okay.
goodness.
All right.
Now or
But
2010?
Now.
Now.
Okay, but all right, in 2010, okay, he's got that young wife, but he decides he takes on another mistress. Apparently, this isn't like
That's the best.
that out of the.
Dude, what the hell is he made of?
Yeah, I know.
I just want to like get his Q-tips and like
I know,
rub
it's
some DNA on me.
Pretty
like,
awesome. I know.
Another
tough guy. All right. So, yes. So he's like going around. He's like got multiple bows.
He's like Arthur Bach.
Having sex all the time with his like mutilated body.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
I feel bad for the girls because
He's like-
they're doing it for the money.
he's
right?
like 87 years old.
His whole body looks like a testicle.
So, okay.
He'll probably have me killed.
So, just recently, and I'm talking like 2014, he starts to change his mind again about his daughter. All right. And he starts doing things that she wanted, and has wanted for a long time.
Well, maybe at that age he wants closure.
Okay, and one of the things that he wanted was to remove. He had put the mistress in his will.
Oh no.
Okay, was to remove the mistress from his will. All right, now he agreed to do it. Okay, but this is the question.
Oh,
okay,
she wanted
this is
the
in
mistress.
2004.
She wanted the mistress removed.
She wanted the mistress removed.
Okay.
She had wanted the mistress removed, and then he did it. Okay, now this is in 2014. He's 91 years old, and the question of senility came up.
Yes.
You know, or does he have some mild dementia or something? Because people have rumored whispered that he does. Okay, so the mistress sues him and sues him and her and the daughter.
Oh, wow.
Saying that he is not mentally competent to remove her from the will, and that the daughter manipulated him into doing it.
Wow.
Okay.
This is like a saga as the
So-
world turns.
So last year, all right, in court, the judge came out with a decision, and he ruled in favor of Redstone, that he was competent. So, and the judge apparently heard doctors, and he testified himself. The judge was convinced that he is competent enough to make the decision. Now, a year later, okay, 2016, he's 93. All right. Okay, he now has this idea. He's going to remove 5 of the board members, which is huge.
Yeah.
You know, there's only like 9 or something. So he's going to remove 5 of the board members. They're all the ones she kept complaining about.
Okay.
All right. And then so they all sue, saying, you know, he's not competent. She's totally manipulating him. And that he didn't like her, and then all of a sudden now he's doing everything she wants, just because of her proximity to him, is what they're insinuating.
Oh wow, that makes sense to me. Like if that would be a pervasive argument.
Yeah,
right
like
there.
come here, and there
The
have been
first
jokes.
one I could see, like you're a mistress, here's some money, go away, right? But you don't own part of my, thing that I built, But these people have been part of that business for a long time, right? And they help build it and
Right.
manage it.
Well,
So that would be. Go ahead. Well, how does
yeah,
it
it's
pan
very
out?
difficult. But okay, so right now that just happened. Like this, like a month ago, that they
Oh, my
filed
goodness.
suit against him for that. So now they've got to test his competence again.
But eventually they're going to be right on that. Right? Like at
Yeah,
a
you
certain
can't
age.
stay out forever. But they're going to test his competence again, and they're saying, no, he's hiding it. Other people have been covering it up, including Philip Dowman, who is the CEO of Viacom now. But Philip Dowman was
this is so
also
crazy.
one of the people that Sherry Redstone wanted removed from the board.
Oh wow. But
So,
Are they hooking up
he
now?
was, like Redstone's best friend.
Yeah.
So he doesn't believe it, But let me tell you another thing. In 2005, okay, to tell you a little bit about his underlings, he had 2 heir apparents, all right, and they were both really interested in becoming CEO of Viacom.
Correct.
Right? The one was Les Moonves.
I remember Les.
All right, Les was the head of CBS, but had only been the head of CBS for 1 year. Before that, it was Mel Karmazin. And before that, Les had been the head of Warner Brothers Television. Okay, and so he had also been head of MTV Networks at one point. But the other guy had been the head of MTV Networks most of the time. Okay, and that guy was Tom Freston. So he was the head of MTV as it really blossomed and succeeded.
Okay.
Okay, and so he was also very close to Redstone, and he was the COO rather, Chief Operating Officer of Viacom,
Okay.
and co-president. So those were the 2 possible heirs. and they hated each other. It's natural, sort of.
Yeah,
When
because-
you're
yeah.
both ambitious, you see the other rival, and you know what they're after, and you're after the same thing. It's natural to sort of for an animus to build.
I mean, aren't there a lot of like? How is it in corporate life? Is it to where, like, aren't there other people that want that job too that would be undercutting your credibility, or you just say these are the two heir apparents, so you just try to like buddy up with one of them?
Yeah, you mean like what would you do if you're an underling?
Yeah, if you're an underling in that, and you have aspirations as well,
Um,
so you just pick one of the two.
I would say you go with the guy you think is the most talented.
Okay.
But okay, so what Redstone decided to do is instead of picking one, he's going to pick both.
Oh.
All right. So in 2005, he split the company in two. All right. He split CBS into one company, and he remains chairman of both. And Viacom remains with the name.
This
remains
guy's
with the other
brilliant.
company.
He's brilliant.
Okay, so Viacom got to keep MTV. I agree, he must be brilliant. MTV, BET, and Paramount, right? Those are three very valuable
Yes.
assets. Okay, CBS got the rest, so they get the Howard Stern, they get the CBS name shows,
News.
they get Nickelodeon, Showtime, and
Hey,
all that.
Nickelodeon can't be discounted though.
Yeah.
It's a very popular show.
It is a popular channel. Okay, so after only 1 year as them being independent companies, Redstone fired the CEO of Viacom,
Wow.
Tom Freston. He said he just wasn't getting it done.
Wow. He makes decisions.
Yeah, and he replaced him with Philippe Dauman, okay, who was the chief counsel before. All right. Now he was very close with him, but it's kind of odd for the chief counsel to go on and become CEO. That's very rare.
I never heard of that.
I've heard it happened at Mellon Financial, but it's very rare.
What would cause what do you mean he's not getting it done? Like what would be something that says that?
He said that he missed the online boat and wasn't promoting it online or in a digital way very well.
Okay.
And he chided him for that. Yeah. So, okay. So now this is 2005, and that's the same time he's getting into these public arguments with his daughter. So they split those two up, and the daughter, of course, doesn't get along with any of the executives at either company.
Yes.
All right.
This is a soap opera. This is great. We should
Right.
have this.
So now the guy Dauman, who's the CEO of Viacom, he wants to also be the chairman of Viacom. And Redstone did appoint him chairman of Viacom in anger with his daughter. Okay?
Yes.
But he doesn't want that to be, he's like rescinding that now.
Oh wow.
But there's, so,
And this is current.
but the judge has ordered a stay, meaning that like these guys are still going to be on the board, still retain their current positions until we get this sorted out.
Okay.
Everyone stays in their job for
Yeah,
now.
that makes sense.
Okay. And then if we decide he's competent, then you're all fired. Okay. Right? Okay. But I don't know. I don't know.
How effective are they going to be during this time?
Right, that's a good question.
Because they could really do damage to
You
the
know,
company.
this is a tumultuous time, but sometimes out of a tumultuous time comes success, because sometimes the people are so challenged and in such a difficult situation that they know in order to survive, they have to perform extremely well.
You're right. So it may go one of two ways. They may sabotage the company, or
Right.
they may just work hard to be that next guy
Could go either way.
to try to like change his mind about his decision.
So keeping all of that background in mind, let's look under the hood at the
I would
financials.
just date his daughter.
Oh my God, no, you wouldn't.
Why?
Wait, after everything everyone says about her?
Hey,
Seems a little nuts, man.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounds pretty unanimous on her personality.
Where's the son at in all this? Like he just doesn't care.
The son's like mellow. He's like, I think
she
it's
probably
sad
has
that
him
they care
duct
so much
taped in the
about this
bedroom.
stuff. He's like,
He's just waiting on that nice big inheritance check that's coming his way.
and Redstone's brother talks about how their parents were really abusive,
Oh, really?
and that he says that's the reason why they get in fights all the time and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
There's an argumentative family.
I guess so. Okay, so the PE is 8.12.
8.12.
The yield is a nice fat 3.54%,
Wow, that's really nice.
which is tempting just to buy it and hold it. You get more than a bond by far. I mean, any kind of
10-year.
you got a safe bond. Return on invested capital 11.91%. Excellent.
Uh-oh.
So
Ding,
the
ding, ding,
ROIC
ding, ding.
is ahead of the PE, and the yield is fat. Wow, looking really good.
But
net debt to equity 308%. Womp womp womp.
does that kill it? I mean,
Problem is, to me, it does, because
just because of the
I think
management
that it's-
upheaval?
just won't buy a company that's unless it's like got some kind of insane growth. Not going to buy a company with that much debt to equity.
Wah, wah, wah. I was
Because
hopeful.
Too risky.
Plus,
right.
I mean, I'm worried about the management.
And the
I just-
earnings are expected to be flat for 2016.
Oh, wow.
So that's not that great either. However, I would pounce on this company in a second if it weren't for that high debt to equity ratio.
What if they stabilize the management? That doesn't even bother you?
But as I said, that could even work in your favor. But I think it's a risk. I think that it's dangerous, perhaps, if Sherry Redstone gets control. She has a whole new group of people she wants to put in charge, and I don't know.
And none of them have been in that business.
Well, no, I think they are legit, but I just don't know how good they would be. I don't know.
Yeah, because the people that are in there now have done a great job of running it to this point.
Yeah, they have. And
Damn, that was interesting.
with that, we're going to conclude our episode of doing one company
One company.
in depth.
Viacom, that was very interesting. What a crazy story.
So thanks for staying tuned, and we're all out of funny money.
See you next week.